Hey, I'm Hannah.
Hey, I'm Megan.
And this is our video podcast with no name. It's nameless.
Yeah.
But we will just use whatever's here for today. Great. So we have a few questions that we were sent in from our audience on Facebook. And we're just going to kind of get into it. This is all about social media and why it's important as a business, specifically for business owners. And one I know that we get often is just like, I'm a business owner. Why do I need to be on social media? You know, what's the point of that? And when it gets down to it, it's that like, that's where things are going. Like everyone is on digital. You're using your phone for everything. You know, you check it for news, you check it for the weather, you check it to see how your aunt's doing in Chicago. You know, you always are on your phone all the time. And so, you know, it's important for your business to be there as well. And like, no matter, you know, even if you're a B2B business, like it's good for you to be on social media because then you can still promote yourself. Like you may not be selling your product directly to that consumer, but you're educating, you're bringing awareness that you're even there, that you exist.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the number one goal when it comes to a business being on social media is that, you know, the direct sell isn't as prominent as it is you're selling yourself, and you want people to get to know who you are, who your employees are, and kind of establish that trust and that relationship through the social channels so that when they do come in your door, they feel like they already know you and they have a little more trust and confidence in the business that you are trying to sell to them.
Yeah. I mean, you know, as an agency, we put out, you know, our culture is really important, you know, and like we want to reflect that to our businesses too. And so if anything, it's like be on social media to show who you are, you know,
right?
Show your people, show that the reason why, because at the end of the day, a dentist is a dentist. You're going to get like the same service, right, from both. But
right.
like
people are always going to need their teeth cleaned.
Yeah. And like, if like, okay, I go to her, it is what it is. But like, what's going to really bring you to that person is like how they are, you know, their team, their atmosphere, all those things that you can see on social before you even walk through the door.
Absolutely.
So then you really know what you're going to get when you walk in.
Yeah.
But then like when you're on social media, you know, the question's always like, well, then how often do I even have to like keep it going? You know, like, you know, you want quality content. I think that's the most thing to bring home is that like the quality over the quantity.
Right.
At least in our opinion, that's how we always like push it.
Yeah, and I think it's a balance of, you know, you want this quality content, but you do want it to be consistent too, so that brand awareness happens naturally. It's not just, you know, you don't just want one post a month or even every other week. You do need some consistency, but you're absolutely right. Like the quality has to be the forefront of everything that is pushed out, and then there needs to be kind of this overarching story across every piece of content you are putting.
Yeah.
So that people recognize you. Again, it comes down to brand recognition. You're selling yourself, but through a social platform. So it still needs to tie into what your brand is.
Yeah, you got to stay relevant. You know, I think there's that equal balance, but it also is that trial and error piece, a little bit of it too, of like, you know, I don't think, in my opinion, I don't like it if a business is posting like 5 times a day.
Oh,
however,
no,
like, if your audience is liking that, then like maybe it does work for you. However, that would not be the advice I would give to just any like business to start off right with like, you know, doing it slow. But like you also don't want to just like post once a month because then like most people want to know, well, how do I get new people to get to my page for free, or how do I get new followers? Well, if you're posting just once a month, then
you're not going to get that organic traction.
Yeah, it's like never going to happen. You're forgotten about until you post again, and then the chances of you even reaching people organically are really slim to none. So you definitely want to find that equal balance. I know personally for me with my clients, you know, I try the 3 to 5 posts you know, a week, like kind of that every other day type of thing. And, you know, and if it's less than that, it's fine. If it's a little bit more than that, it's fine as well. But there's that wiggle room. And I feel like that kind of it's a nice consistent piece. And then you have the boosting, you know, like you are able to spend some money. So, you know, reminding, you know, if you work for an agency and, you know, you have a client, or if it's your own business, but like being mindful of the fact that like, you don't have to post every day, because like if you're spending some money on your post, then you're gonna still be reaching people even if there's not a new thing going up on your feed.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of people, like, the question kind of lends to itself of, okay, well, how much do I have to spend to make it noticeable? And luckily with social media, you don't have to spend as much as you would some of the traditional marketing avenues.
Yeah.
But you do still have to understand that there is an algorithm. There is kind of that ebb and flow of the pay to play that you are working with. But the good thing about it is that your money can go much further on a social platform. You know, just boosting something, like you said, you might post it on a Monday, but if you boost a few dollars behind it, it'll last through the week.
Right.
And it's still getting that new viewer or that new audience member that it might not have reached the day you posted it.
Yeah.
And it's just being able to allocate your money in real time if something isn't working.
Right.
And saying, okay, well, I can pause this. I can switch this money to a different post or a different ad if I need. And really just kind of using the insights that Facebook already gives you, as well as the other social platforms, to see, you know, is this reaching the audience I want? Who's viewing it? Is this post in the morning getting more engagement than this post in the afternoon?
Right.
Those kind of things all kind of really help business owners that are doing it themselves have the tools they need to do it successfully.
Yeah.
You know, even if you can't necessarily outsource someone to take care of these things for you.
Yeah. And to that, you know, another thing is, like, people are always asking about ROI. That's a constant question. You know, our clients, even ourselves, say, you know, well, what am I going to get? What return is this? And social media takes time. You know, it's instant because you can get on it, happen right away. A lot of people feel like they can do it. I can do it myself because, like, I have access to it. But to get that customer, to turn that follower into a customer, can take some time. In some ways that you can convert them a little bit quicker is by offering more things. You know, don't just expect them because they're a follower, now they're going to purchase from you. But, like, you know, people always want to know what they can get. You know, what more things can I get for free?
What can I get as an incentive?
You know, what's in it for me? And so, like, you know, finding unique ways that aren't going to really cost you much more to give, but that would maybe establish that trust a little bit more, like, you know, hosting different types of giveaways or, you know, exclusive discounts for different followers that maybe subscribe to your emails or something like that, to where you can convert them a little bit more, gain more of that trust, and then you kind of you have that foot in that door of them becoming that customer.
And even doing stuff, you know, so that, you know, hey, is the social I'm doing, is it working? Doing something like a specific code that is only given out on a social platform. So, you know, okay, this one came from Facebook. Oh, this code came from Instagram. Or like, this call tracking number came from our website specifically.
Right.
And you can kind of see better, okay, these are the social platforms that are working for me. We're getting more of our calls from Instagram rather than LinkedIn. So we're going to do a heavier push on that platform.
Right.
So kind of utilizing the tools that are out there to your benefit, really.
Even like Bitly, you know, I use that a lot for my clients, and like customizing URLs. So that way, you know, you can kind of see it, where those clicks are coming from. You know, if you're pointing them to your website, you know, it looks cleaner on your posts. It's shorter, but then also it just, you know, it's going to give you some better results, some better analytics to know, like, okay, this many people clicked, and it even breaks it down on the platform of, like, where they came from.
Right.
So that helps you there of, like, knowing if it's working, you know. And looking at that data, you always want to be looking at, you know, like you said earlier, the times that you're posting, when people are engaging. That's going to always really help determine if it's working for you or not. And being flexible to change it up if it's not, you know, and not just sticking with it just because you've always done it that way. But
and in addition to all that, you know, I think it's important to note that the basis of social media is people being social. So there's no harm in asking your customers when they do come in the door, hey, how'd you hear about us?
Yeah.
Because that's free information that you're gathering. You know, they don't have to do anything extra. They're already in your door. And it's a simple question of, did you hear about us on Facebook? Did you hear about us by Googling us on, you know, some random search? Or did you just stumble upon us? And using that to your advantage too, to really see what's working from what advertising you are putting out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks everybody for joining in on some of these burning questions we've gotten just about how to use social media for your own business. If you have any future questions that you want us to answer, drop them at the email below and we'd be happy to help out.
Yeah, questions like that are strictly about social media, or even things about video production, design, and how those can work on social and the digital space. We'd love to hear them. We want to keep doing more of these and provide this resource for you. So, yeah, let's hear them. Shout them out.
Thanks.
Bye.